Hey there, let's cookie like it's Christmas and make these cone-tastic snowman cones. Hi, I'm Leslie with Leslie's Cookies and Treats, and if you love decorating sugar cookies or you want to learn how, you're in the right place. Let's decorate together. Do you love Christmas in July? To celebrate, I'm turning these adorable Christmas cones by cuddly cute designs into cookies. All of the supplies you need are listed in the description, so decorate along with me. I started by outlining and flooding in the cone using a tan colored icing in about a 15-second consistency, and I'm just going to flood that in and then use my scribe to settle the icing down. And then I set this cookie aside to dry for about 15 minutes, and I'm going to come back in and touch down and lift up with my piping bag and drag a line across the cone to make it look more like an ice cream cone. So again, I'm just going to touch down, lift up my piping bag, and drag a line across with even pressure. And then we'll let that dry while we move up here to the hat, and I'm just going to outline and flood in the hat. My black icing is also about a 15-second consistency, and I like to use the same icing to outline and to flood. And as always, once it's flooded in, I'll use my scribe to help shape the icing, settle it down, and pop any air bubbles. And then I'll set this cookie back aside to dry for about 15 or 20 minutes until all of the icing has crusted over. And then I'll just come back in with my white icing and pipe in the snowman's face. My white icing is, guess what? A 15-second consistency. And because my icing is a 15-second consistency, I can go right up to the edge without worrying that it's going to overflow. I'll use my scribe as always, and then I'll set this cookie aside to dry for another 15-20 minutes before I come in and overpipe the bottom little part of the ice cream cone, again using that same 15-second white icing. And this area can be a little rough because we're going to make it all textured so it looks like the bottom of an ice cream cone scoop. And I'm going to do the same thing to the hat and just put another layer where the brim of the hat is using my black royal icing. So outline and flood that in, and then use your scribe to shape it and smooth it out and pop in the air bubbles. And then you can move to the very top of the hat, and let's make a little snow dripping down up here. Just make a line and kind of make some little drips going down into the hat using your white icing. And use your scribe to settle it down and pop in the air bubbles. And then move on down to the nose, and let's just give him a big round oval nose. Using your scribe to settle it down, make sure that the icing gets all the way down to the cookie. And then let's give it a highlight by immediately taking your white icing and putting a little line on the top of the orange nose. And moving back down to that extra bit of white icing we piped at the bottom of Frosty's face, just go ahead and put a little squiggle of icing there. It should have crusted over enough now that we can go ahead and take a paintbrush and kind of dip that icing and tap at it just gently to make it look kind of bumpy and textured, the way ice cream does when it's sitting on top of the cone. And then moving back up to the hat, let's put a thick stripe of red icing right at the top of that brim. And then I have some little holly sprinkles that I'm just going to stick on to the hat right here. If you don't have holly sprinkles, you can use stiff icing and make your own holly leaves, and I'll leave a link to a video on how you can do that in the description. So I'm just attaching these leaves with a little bit of royal icing, and then I'll put a little holly berry in the middle, and then I let my cookie dry completely, and I'm coming back in with some edible luster dust, just giving him some nice rosy cheeks and wiping away the excess. And then I have a black edible marker, and I'm just going to give him some eyes and eyelashes and a cute little grin, and this cookie will be done. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed this summer makeover of our snowman cookie. And be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the Christmas in July cookies. Thank you so much for watching. Stay cool, my friends, and I'll see you in the next one.